Shalom Uvracha from Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh. With the help of Hashem, we study this evening in our second Haftarah series, the Haftarah of Parshat Eikev, the second of the 7 special prophecies of consolation read in all of the synagogues throughout the world from Tisha B'Av until Rosh Hashanah. The particular chapters of study this week, they're all taken from the book of Yeshaya. All of the 7 prophecies are from the book of Isaiah. This week we read from chapters 49, 50, 51 of Isaiah. I would like to focus on sentence 20 of chapter 49. Perek Mem Tet Pasuk Kaf. And thank God, with the privilege of living here in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem, with the privilege of living here in Yerushalayim, Baruch Hashem, we have had, on occasion, the distinct privilege of many, many people crowding together in the Holy Land, and many, many people crowding together in the Holy City. And I have shared with my family, with our great teachers and friends here, that I have often felt that when we're in a crowded situation in the land of Israel, especially in the city of Jerusalem, that there's a certain level of the prophetic vision of Isaiah that we always should have with us. I recommend it in every car in Yerushalayim for any traffic jam. I think that all of the people who are honking, to try to get through, or trying to put on their lights because I can't move, or all the people trying to walk through very crowded sections of Israel generally, or of Jerusalem specifically. I believe that Isaiah 49, chapter 49, verse 20, this is an ideal reading. I try to keep it in mind. Sometimes, you lose it a little bit, and you're driving, and you have to sit 15 minutes in traffic in Yerushalayim, or Hashem. I hope that everyone will be able to drive, comfortably and smoothly, and I'm sure they'll be able to accommodate the millions of Jews and the billions of non-Jews who are coming to Eretz Yisrael, to Yerushalayim. But what is a proper meditation for such a situation? I would like to humbly offer my opinion that Isaiah 49:20 is a great level of study for those great moments in our life when we feel so crowded. And the reason for that is that for so long, Eretz Yisrael and Yerushalayim were desolate. There was so much of a feeling in this country that the Jews, we just read last week the book of Lamentation. The city was so empty. The city was so lifeless almost. The people, the sons and the daughters, had left to the exile. May it never happen again, and may it only be a study of the past. And there was plenty of room to go anywhere and everywhere. The whole city was empty. It was just a state of ruins. And Yeshayahu says, in such beautiful words, he says, I'll start at sentence 19. Ki chorvotayich, you follow me? Perek Mem Tet, Pasuk Yud Tet, and Pasuk Kaf. Isaiah 49, sentences 19 and 20. Ki chorvotayich v'shomamotayich, the eretz harisuteich, the very lands that were ruins and that were desolations. A land of devastation, empty lands. You know what's going to be in those lands? You know what's going to be in those cities? You know what's going to be in those areas? Ki ata. Now it means when it's going to happen. It means today, to now, right now, it's happening. Go outside and see. You know how long it took me today to go from point A to point B? I was thinking about tonight's YouTube. That's what I was thinking. I was sitting in traffic. It's long lines of cars. I don't know where everything was going. And I was thinking, this is it. I don't have to read. I don't have to read Yeshayahu. Just have to go out to the street. I wish you were there in the afternoon. We would have filmed this like live, live on the scene. Like here it is. Ki atam. Teitzeri miyoshev. You know what that is? Ki ata teitzeri miyoshev. It'll be so crowded. Yeah, Teitzeri, tsar, like tsar means narrow. It'll be too narrow. Teitzeri miyoshev. There'll be so many people there, so many inhabitants there. There won't be room. V'rahaku mivala'ayich. And all those who are trying to destroy you will no longer be. You know, they'll be far away. The city, the state, the country will be so filled with people. Od yomeru v'aznayich. Sentence 20. Od yomeru v'aznayich. B'nei shikulayich. The children from whom you have been bereaved. The children of Zion, B'nai Tzion, B'not Tzion, the children of Eretz Israel, the children of Yerushalayim, who for so long weren't there. You know what's going to happen? They are going to say, they will say into your ears, maybe they'll whisper it, you know. So it says here, Od Yomeru Ba'aznayich. Why does it have to say Ba'aznayich? I don't know the answer, I'll suggest something, but it could just say Od Yomeru, right? They will be saying, these very children, the very descendants of the people of Israel, that you were so convinced will no longer be there. That people were saying they will never come back to Eretz Israel. Or if they will come back to Eretz Israel, a few people will come back to Eretz Israel. A handful of people. That hundreds and thousands, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, Baruch Hashem, millions of Jews have returned to Eretz Israel. But these were the children that so many people gave up on already. These were the B'nei Shikulayich. These were the children from whom the people of Israel, the land of Israel, was bereaved. These very children, the very descendants of the people of Israel, are going to say, Tsar li hamakom. It is so crowded here. Yeah, Eretz Israel is so crowded. Yeah. Could you please move? Could you just let me get through, please? Excuse me. It says it. Tsar li hamakom. Tsar li hamakom. I can't breathe. What? No room. Yet Sali Hamako. Gishali. Could you please move away a little bit? I have to sit down. You know, I have to dwell here. Wow. The land that was so empty, the city that was so desolate, is going to be so filled with people that people will have problems finding places to dwell. Now, Chas v'shalom, it shouldn't be the case, but all the people watching who are not yet in Eretz Israel, you know, there's plenty of room. Just come. We'll find you. There's always room. What? There's always room. When there's love. When there's love, there's room. Yes, I'm just saying, but you know, maybe that's why they say it Ba'aznayich. Ojo Ru Ba'aznayich. It sounds almost like they're whispering it. You know, what does it mean? They will say in your ears. What does it mean to say something? I think when you say something in someone's ears, I think generally it means like you don't want to say it too loud. Because I was thinking how to rectify the teaching in our Haftarah with the great teaching in the Mishnah. There's a teaching in the 5th chapter of the Ethics of the Fathers that one of the great miracles of the temple, one of the great miracles of Yerushalayim was that no one ever said, you know, Tsar li hamakom, Shalim Yerushalayim. No one ever said it's too crowded. There's no room in Yerushalayim. And I was thinking, but it says here that's exactly what they are going to say. How can the Mishnah answer the question? How can the Mishnah say that one of the 10 miracles in the temple, one of the 10 miracles in Jerusalem was that no one ever complained about space in Yerushalayim, meaning there was always room in Yerushalayim, or they loved Yerushalayim so much they didn't say it, or Omedim Tzifufim Umishtachavim Revachim, even in the temple had millions of people fit into. There was always room. There was somehow room that had expansive consciousness. What? Yeah, right. Or Pesach. There's a description. That's correct. What?
The time of the temple was no parking tickets.
Yeah, no parking tickets. But if you could create it, it's not a question of parking tickets. It's a question of sensitivity, even if there are no parking tickets. You can't just block people.
They had a tax if you have a horse and cart. If you had a horse and cart, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I assume you could just leave your horse and wagon in the little room.
I'm sure there was.
So I was thinking how to reconcile the teaching of Yeshayahu with the teaching of Pirkei Avot. I'm sure there are many ways of explaining it. Because there it says that a miracle was that they never said it. They never said it. No one, people were so deeply in love with Yerushalayim. Some people were so deeply in love with the fact that they could be in the holy city. Who would even talk about space? Who would even be talking about like there's no room to go to sleep. There's no room to relax in Yerushalayim. Of course, there's room to relax. Of course, there's great love. When you're in the city of God, when you're in the city of blessing, how can you possibly talk about complaining of Tzali HaMakom? And the very word Tzali HaMakom is the term that Yeshayahu is saying that they will say. Oh, so I want to say maybe there's a difference between saying it and between, maybe whispering it into someone's ear. Maybe I don't want to. I don't. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
They're using that concept to advertise to come to Israel.
This word. This.
It says, "Come to Israel, stay with friends."
Baruch Hashem. Amen. I'm sorry. That they did not say it.
And that time not, but today it's
No, but the Mishnah seems to say it's a positive good. It's a positive good that no one said this. Where's Pirkei Avot? We have Pirkei Avot. You want to just give me a cigar, right? Or Mishnah Yod Zikin. The Mishnah says it's a good. It's positive. It's a miracle. But they never said it. And here it's saying that the city will be so crowded, or the land will be so crowded. Can I thank you. So, you could say maybe there's a difference between Yerushalayim and other places. Is it necessarily only maybe that's only a miracle in Yerushalayim? Maybe these are other places in Eretz Yisrael.
It's a miracle in the temple. It's not a miracle now.
What?
It was a miracle in the temple.
Could be, and he's talking about Yeshayahu. Yeshayahu seems to be. This is what I'm asking. In Yeshayahu, it seems to be good. No, it seems to be a good thing, a positive accomplishment. And in the Mishnah, I'm reading from chapter 5, Mishnah 7 of Pirkei Avot. One of the miracles is Lo Amar Adam L'Chaviro, Tzar Li HaMakom Sha'alin B'Yerushalayim. There were always available accommodations in Yerushalayim. Nobody ever said that there's insufficient room. It's too narrow for me. But Yeshayahu says that that's what they're going to say. So you can say, hey, Yeshayahu's talking about other parts of Eretz Yisrael. Anybody have a different answer? Yes?
Yeah, I would say...
Maybe loud enough so our friends can hear you.
I would say perhaps that, like you're saying, that what Pirkei Avos is enumerating is that it was a nace. It was a nace that people didn't say it. This is one of the nisim, one of the miracles that was going on. But Mashiach comes and everyone is here. It's not going to be in the way of a nace. It's going to be like the Rambam learns that Mashiach will come. It'll be like the natural thing. It'll be the natural thing.
And the natural ways that people will really.
Yeah, the natural thing that people will say, okay, it's crowded and we're here, Baruch Hashem, and we don't have to rely. It's almost like at that time they almost had to rely on these miracles to make it happen. But Le'aseh Lavo, times to come, it'll be glatt, it'll be straight and be smooth.
I'm leaving it as an open question. If somebody has an answer other than this great answer that we just heard, I'd love to hear it. I want to suggest that maybe there's a difference between Me'olam lo amar adam lachavero, which is the language that the Mishnah uses, and the language of Yeshayahu, which says, O Jomru ba'aznayich. Is there a difference between Amar and Amar ba'aznayich? Is that a possible difference? That there's a. Does anyone relate to what I'm saying? Nobody.
It seems like
no. Ba'aznayich. In other words, it's
Say it near a year,
what?
or to say it out loud.
Yeah, right. To say it out loud is rude. I can't. Yerushalayim. I can't. It's too crowded. Yerushalayim. Could you please? Wow, it's so many people here. Anyway, I think this sentence is really exciting for all the people in Eretz Yisrael today, for all the people in Yerushalayim today. So often we read the words of the prophets, and our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents for so many generations. They read Isaiah with so many levels of just faith, of just blind faith, that everything that it says here is going to happen. And we still have to maintain the same levels, if not greater levels of faith. But in a certain sense, it's so much easier to read Yeshayahu when you see the living testimonies of Yeshayahu. Just walk outside and see Yeshayahu. May the words of Yeshayahu be together with all the people. The next time you find yourself crowded in Eretz Yisrael, so say to yourself, wow, this is such a miracle. We're crowded in Eretz Yisrael. Crowded in Eretz Yisrael. Next time you feel crowded in Yerushalayim, next time you have to ask someone to move over. Next time there's a car in your lane who's passing, many cars backed up on some road, on some highway, on some street. Walk the streets, travel the roads with the prophecy of Isaiah for all the ruins and desolations and the devastated land. It will all be so crowded with inhabitants, and the place will feel crowded for so many people. Bezrat Hashem, I hope the great longing to get closer and closer to each other. Yerushalayim is the year Shachub Bera La Yachtav. Surely when we feel very crowded, maybe we'll feel also that great level of love, that great level of connection. May we experience the complete fulfillment of all of the prophecies of consolation in Yeshayahu and in the other books. I hope way before Shabbat Parshat Eikev. Thank you so much for listening. Shalom.